This video is going to concentrate on 5 of the most useful technologies that language teachers could look at in the area of AI. 3 of the technologies that I've chosen can work in multiple languages, though 2 of them are only based currently on working in English. Several of the technologies offer the chance for students to practice their speaking skills, and one of the most interesting ones is what happens if you add a voice app to ChatGPT. I'm going to demonstrate myself speaking in English, French and Spanish, and I'll also do that with another voice app that we can use. I'm also going to show you an app that cuts down preparation time massively by simply writing what you want and it will be produced by the app. I'm also going to focus on an app that helps with pronunciation and works in multiple languages. Finally, there's a really interesting AI app that students can work with, and they've got video content, listening and reading, and exercises to do, including writing and speaking. My name is Russell Stannard. I was previously an educational technologist at the University of Warwick and at the University of Westminster. These days I actually do consultancy work helping software companies to develop AI products, as well as running my YouTube channel and website teachertrainingvideos.com. I really hope you like this video, and if you do, please like it, please share it, please comment on it, and of course join me on my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click on the bell button. Sit back, watch these videos, and it's really going to take your knowledge and your level of what you can do with AI in language teaching to another level. One last thing, people always ask me how I make my videos. This is not a commercial talk, but I use a product called Camtasia. If you go to the description below, I've added a link where you can download and test it for free. There's also a link to get an extra discount if you buy the educational version of Camtasia. That will give you a double discount and a discount on the commercial version. And finally, there's a free 6-part course in using Camtasia. Right, let's start the video. Now, the first technology we're going to look at is called twee.com. And if I click on tools, this is a phenomenal technology. It offers you an absolute huge range of opportunities. For example, in this first one here, you can add in a video link from YouTube and it will extract the text, or it will add questions, or it will do summaries of the YouTube video. In fact, what it does is it produces 3 summaries and only one of them is correct, so it can be a really nice exercise. You can get it to, for example, generate a text for you on any topic at any level. You can specify the vocabulary that you want to use. You've got loads and loads of grammar, vocabulary, writing, dialogues, ideas for discussions. It's unbelievable how much content is on this site, and it's certainly one of the most popular, though not the most popular, on my website. Now let's just start by doing a couple of obvious things, okay? I won't be able to demonstrate all the ideas, but let's just quickly go for this one here. I'm going to click on this one here, which is just to generate a text. Now you'll see the power of Twee is that you can do an activity and then add another activity and then another activity and build up a whole lesson plan just with a few clicks of a button. So I'm going to write in the topic here healthy eating. So that's going to be my topic, or living healthy. Let's living a healthy life. Okay, and then the text genre type I want is going to be a kind of descriptive article. Now I can actually specify any vocabulary that I want, so let's put in a few things. Let's put in yoga, let's put in vitamins, let's put in fresh air, and let's put in active, and let's put in social. Okay, and then we're going to choose a range of about 300 to 500 words, and we're going to choose the level of B2, and I click on do the magic, and that text is immediately written out. Now this way that this one's been particularly done, it's quite a nice way actually, is it's kind of broke it up into different sections: eating well, doing regular exercise, getting enough sleep. Quite nice. Okay, so the text has been produced. Now interestingly enough, you can press on this button here and shorten that text, but you can also click on this button and edit it. Now this is where the magic really starts when you're working with Twee.com. I always suggest checking the text, but overall the text production is excellent because I presume it's connecting to ChatGPT. But look at this, you can now do lots of work with the topic, with the vocabulary, or with the result. So for example, let's say now I want to do some true or false statements based on the text. I would click here, it grabs that text, and then I would click again on do the magic. Now again, I'm going to make sure that the levels are around B1, B2, do the magic, and it's going to produce the true or false questions to go along with that. So now I've got the text followed by true or false questions, and in fact I could keep adding and adding. So let's say for example I wanted to do a leading activity. So I'm now going to choose that, and the leading activity for example is probably going to be some questions to think about, yeah, or an activity that we can do before we actually start to read the text. You can just keep building it up and up. Now once you're happy with what you've done, all you need to click on is save as PDF. You've got the option here of either including the answers or not including them. I'm going to include them. I'm going to save as PDF, and that is going to produce a PDF file. And if we jump over now and quickly have a look at it, so I come over to my downloads and I click here, there it is, that lovely PDF file, healthy living. And I could obviously use this, and obviously I might use it in a different order. So we've got these warm-up leading activities that we could do before we start, and then perhaps after we've done that we would do the reading, and then followed by perhaps the true or false. You can always cut it up, or you know, lots of ways you could work with this. Great for students to work at home, etc. Absolutely fantastic. Now that's just one example. Now I don't want to spend too much time on Twee.com, but I will show you one more example. Now let's click back on the tools. As I said, there are many tools to look into, and if I was to show you many of these, you would really be surprised at what you can do. I'm just going to show you a really simple one I like, reading bits and pieces. And if I click on here, let's do a price list. You know, these kind of quick things that you might want to produce, say for role play. I'm going to do price list for a Chinese restaurant. Okay, and again I won't worry about the vocabulary this time. I'm just going to click on do the magic, and it's going to produce for me a quick price list. Now again, just like last time, what I can now do is choose backup activities to go with that. So for example, let's say that I want to let's have a look at what could be interesting. Well, some true or false questions on this could be quite interesting, couldn't they? Or a dialogue on the same topic. Let's try that one now. Let's see if it will build a dialogue around this. So I presume it's going to. I'm going to choose the level intermediate, and I presume it might be like a restaurant kind of thing. Yeah, okay. Great, I can see that dialogue there already been produced. It's a discussion and they're sitting in the restaurant. I can see that. Absolutely fabulous, okay? And again, I could add more, extract collocations, leading activity, true or false questions, open questions. Let's just click on that. It's going to be some open questions based on the dialogue in this case. Okay, so let's grab the dialogue now, and then we're going to have some open questions based on that dialogue. You can build this up, and then exactly the same thing again. You click on save as PDF. Now, Twee.com is not completely free. You get a certain amount of free content that you can use, a certain amount of activities. You might want to look into what the options are. I've been using the free tool so far. I did sign up very early. I'm hoping that they might keep my free option open to me. As I said, there is now a paid option as well. It's definitely worth looking into. Now, when I've presented this tool a couple of times, there's been literally in the audience people going, because people just don't realize what you can do once you add in the voice tool for ChatGPT. Now, this voice tool doesn't just work in English, you can use it in all sorts of languages. In fact, I was just recently practicing in Spanish, and there's loads of ways that you can use this. And I'm just going to demonstrate a couple of ideas here, and I'll also very quickly demonstrate and show you where you get this download. It takes just a second. You just click on a button and it's there. It really is that simple. It's nothing technically difficult to do. This is a total and utter game changer. So if we have this voice tool, watch this. I'm just going to give you an example of what we can do. I'm just going to give you a couple of examples. Let's start with this one. ChatGPT, I want you to answer me as if you were Shakespeare. So I'm going to ask you some questions about your life, and you're going to answer me in Shakespearean English as if you were Shakespeare. Is that okay?
Of course, fair interlocutor. I shall endeavour to respond to thy queries in the manner of the bard himself. Pray, ask your questions, and I shall provide my responses in the spirit of Shakespearean prose.
Okay, this is great. Okay, so I've literally got it to, yeah, and it's so simple. If I'm speaking, I can just do, and all I need to do is hold this, click on this button here, speak, and then press the space bar. So I'm going to say, is it right that you are thinking of building a theatre in London?
Marry, thou hast heard aright, forsooth. The Globe Theatre, a playhouse of my design, doth grace the bustling streets of London, where thespians and playwrights do converge to enact the finest dramas and comedies for the delight of our goodly audience. This wooden O, as we do fondly call it, is a stage where the muses of drama and mirth do dance and sing for the pleasure of both high and low, noble and commoner alike.
Okay, let's try something different, alright? So I'm going to click here now, I'm going to try something, a completely different type of chat, alright? So I'm going to click on new chat, and I'm going to try something else completely with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I want you to pretend that you're my friend, but you're very, very skeptical, and you're always doubting my ideas and always questioning what I want to do, and that you're always a little bit negative about it. I want you to do this because I want to practice the language of negativity. Is that okay? Press the space bar.
Of course, I can help you practice by taking on a skeptical and negative role. But please keep in mind that my goal is to assist and provide information to the best of my abilities. Let's get started. What's the idea or topic you'd like me to be skeptical and negative about?
ChatGPT, I'm thinking of learning Polish. What do you think about that?
Learning Polish? Well, I'm not so sure about that idea. Polish is known to be quite a challenging language for English speakers to pick up. It has a complex grammar and pronunciation, not to mention a vast vocabulary. Are you sure you're up for the time and effort it will take to become proficient in Polish? It might be more practical to focus on a language that's more widely spoken or easier to learn. But hey, if you're determined, go for it. Just be prepared for a bumpy linguistic ride.
The problem is though, I'm actually thinking of living in Poland. Do you think it's worth learning the language if I live there?
Living in Poland, you say? Well, that does change things a bit. If you plan to live there, learning the language becomes a more practical necessity. It can significantly enhance your experience and daily.
Okay, so you can get ChatGPT to take on characters. Of course, you could use this if you're a language learner to practice the language that you want to speak. So I'm going to click on new chat. So I'm going to add a new chat now. I'm going to switch over and we're going to perhaps speak in Spanish. So let's click on Spanish. Okay, so I'm going to now turn on the audio again, and I'm just going to Quiero practicar mi español. ¿Puedes hablar en español conmigo?
Claro, estoy aquí para ayudarte a practicar tu español. ¿En qué puedo ayudarte o de qué te gustaría hablar?
A mí me gustaría hablar un poquito de la historia de España y, por ejemplo, las ciudades, los sitios interesantes para visitar y cosas así.
Por supuesto, España tiene una rica historia y muchos lugares interesantes para visitar. Aquí tienes una breve introducción a la historia de España y algunas ciudades y sitios destacados. Historia.
Okay, so you can do that. Now, one thing I would suggest if you try to get it to, if you want to use it for practicing languages, is tell it to be short, because one thing I've noticed about ChatGPT is it does love to chat. I mean, I've not even asked it a question and already it's off giving me loads and loads of information. It does tend to do that, okay? But you can see that you can actually use it for practicing languages as well. Now, I wonder if it works if you was not so good in a language. So I'm going to just switch over now and try it in French. Now, my French isn't very good, so actually, my French used to be fairly good, but let's just see if I can get away with using it in French. I'm going to click on New Chat. I'm going to turn on the audio again, so I can click on this button. We've now changed to French, and je ne parle pas très bien le français, mais je pense pratiquer le français avec vous. C'est possible?
Bien sûr, je serai ravi de vous aider à pratiquer le français. Si vous avez des questions ou si vous voulez discuter de sujets en français, n'hésitez pas à les poser, et je ferai de mon mieux pour vous assister. Comment puis-je vous aider aujourd'hui?
Vous pouvez parler simplement parce que je parle pas très bien le français. Allez, je comprends assez bien.
Bien sûr, je vais essayer de parler simplement en français. Si vous avez des questions sur la grammaire, le vocabulaire, ou si vous souhaitez discuter de sujets en particulier, n'hésitez pas à demander. Je suis là pour vous aider à améliorer votre français et à répondre à vos besoins. Qu'aimeriez-vous discuter ou apprendre aujourd'hui? Bien sûr, je vais essayer de parler simplement en français.
Okay, I mean, that's just
Si vous avez des questions sur la grammaire, le vocabulaire, ou si vous souhaitez discuter de sujets en particulier.
Okay, that's absolutely fantastic, okay? It's the first time actually I've used it for practicing my French, and absolutely fabulous. I haven't dared yet to use it to practice my Polish, because my Polish is still not quite at the level that I think I can do that. But wow, this is powerful, and I just think once you've got that voice app, so how do you get that voice app? I think that's the next thing we need to look at. Okay, that voice app is super simple. Just click over here. I just want to show you it first. So I'm going to come to extensions and then click on manage extensions. Now the extension you want is called voice control in ChatGPT. So how do you get that? Super simple, guys. I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to jump over to Google. I'm going to paste that in, and it's going to come up on the screen. There it is, voice control for ChatGPT. Click on that. Now, my one says remove from Chrome because it's already on there. Yours is going to say add to Chrome or upload to Chrome or something like that. Just click on it. That's it. That's all you have to do. And it will be there. When you open up ChatGPT the next time, you will have the voice tool. Just a super quick break before I carry on. I'm going to show you 3 more tools. If you really want to keep up with AI and language teaching and you like what you see, then come over to my Patreon site. Every week I put up a training video on a technology that's really relevant to teachers, language teachers particularly, or language students. And I also give you a weekly news video where I update you on things that I'm testing, on things that you might be able to try out for free, on any special offers that I've come across. I actually work with several of the organisations that are developing tools in the area of AI and language teaching. And the Patreon site has both a free and a paid option. The free option will at the moment give you the news updates, weekly news updates for free, and I quickly focus on technologies that you might want to look at, but I don't take you through them. But if you do decide to actually pay and join the Patreon site, which is $6 a month, then every week you will get a news article where I update you on what I'm looking at and working on. Also though, a weekly training course where I go into detail about a particular technology. Now, of course, you get access to all the backdated content as well. So if you sign up, there's not only going to be the new videos that I'm loading up on a weekly basis, but you also get access to all the old content that's also on the site as well. For me personally, this is my favorite technology. I'm a huge language enthusiast, and I just cannot believe how useful this is to me. I'm using it every day. Predominantly I'm using it in Polish. Basically what it allows me to do, it's called naturalreaders.com, and you do have access to this technology completely for free, and you can use it per day once you've created an account for up to 4,000 characters. So it's really quite a lot. Basically you can paste in any text in a whole range of different languages and have that text read out with a perfect accent. So at the moment I've just pasted in a piece of text here in Polish. I can literally click here and I've got all these languages that I can choose from. You can see there's absolutely masses of them. Okay, but the language that I'm going to look at the moment, of course, is Polish. I use this for French and Spanish as well, but I'm going to click on Polish, then I choose an accent. I'm going to choose Marek. And then if I click on this button now, the text that I've just pasted into here, and I'll obviously show you in a minute how to paste in the text, it's simple, you just paste it in, is going to be read out in a lovely Polish accent.
W małym mieście odbył się ważny mecz piłki nożnej na lokalnym stadionie. Bramkarz drużyny gospodarzy, Michał, był bardzo dobry i bronił wiele strzałów rywali. Jego umiejętności były imponujące.
So I really like this. I just love the fact that I can take a text, that perhaps a text that I've got written from ChatGPT, and then paste it in here and have it read out with a perfect accent. You know, and I can do this in all sorts of different languages as well. I've even got control over, you know, I can choose different voices. So I might say, right, I want Zofia to read this text out for me. Now I can click on Zofia and she's going to read it out.
Jego umiejętności były imponujące. Napastnik z drużyny przeciwnika, Andrzej, starał się zdobyć bramkę za wszelką cenę.
So this is absolutely fantastic. I love this as well. Okay, that you've got this kind of the actual text that's being read out and it focuses on the particular word. You know, you don't have to just put a text in here. You just might have a whole list of words. Let's just put a, you know, I'm going to write funny, happy. Just write a few words in. All right, easy, quick. Yeah. Sorry. Click there. Accommodation. Let's just put those words in. Accommodation. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over languages. Of course, we're going to use this one. I'm going to use English. We've got lots of English accents. Let's go for an Australian accent. I'm going to go for William. Now William's going to read these words for me in Australian English.
Funny, happy, easy, quick, accommodation.
This is absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, that could be sentences, that could be a whole text. You can, you know, you can just click here. You just paste your text in. You just paste in whatever text, or you just write it in. So let's just do one last final example. There's lots of things as well on this technology. There's lots of little isms. There's a lot more, but this is the basics of it. Let me just quickly show you one more thing. So I'm just going to jump over to my website and I'm going to grab a little bit of text just to demonstrate this. So I just grab this here. So it's just a little bit of information about me and my background. Come back here, just paste it in, simple as that. Okay, so just click and then paste. And then we choose a different accent. Let's go for Welsh. Let's go for Indian English. Yeah, and then we're going to choose Prabhat. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. And I'm going to click here now. So let's have an Indian English accent reading out my information.
Russell Stannard is a multi-award-winning educational technologist and founder of www.teachertrainingvideos.com. He has more than 7...
Absolutely fabulous. Okay, this could be really useful for my wife. She says she always suffers from understanding Indian people when they're speaking in English, so this would be great for her to hear that accent and to practice it. And of course, that's one of the great things about this technology, is that you know, you get the chance to hear a whole variety of different accents as well. For example, in English, and I've noticed in Spanish it does the same thing as well. So there are several Spanish accents. Other languages, of course, only have, say, you know, a few choices in terms of the voices, but some of the language have quite a lot of options. I think so we've got Spanish, Mexican, Spanish, US here, for example. Okay, the funny thing is, just to point this out as well, if I was to jump over to, say, French and choose Henri, then Henri, my favorite language is French, but so I love hearing a French accent reading out the text in English.
Et HS more than 77,000
Oh, no.
subscribers on his YouTube channel.
Ah, no, actually it doesn't do that. It is now translating, which it wasn't doing before. Very interesting. I won't leave that mistake up there because in the past it was actually reading out my text in in English. And so I could hear the accent. That's a real shame because that's what it was doing. Now it seems to be doing something completely different. Let me just check that again. Let's just do Denise. It looks like it does translate now.
Et HS more than 77,000
Oh, no, sorry,
subscribers on his YouTube channel.
No.
Et received awards from the British Council Elton, the Times Higher and the University
Oh
of...
no, that is in English. Okay, that is English. Sorry, I got confused there. So it is in English. See, so I kind of like this because see, it could be interesting. This I haven't got this one clear in my mind. But you know, when we're learning English, for example, then often we've got to get used to people from other accents speaking our language, from other languages speaking. So it's not their native language to speak. English is a lingua franca. So I'm wondering if that could be quite interesting because you know you could expose students to English from Portuguese speakers, from French speakers, from German speakers, and that is the idea. Celine, let's have a listen.
He received awards from the British Council Elton, the Times Higher and the University of Westminster.
Okay, it's food for thought. Okay, the accents to me when it's played when they're obviously reading out my English with a French accent, it's very, very exaggerated, but there's potential. But anyway, it's a wonderful tool. It's something I use continually to practice my Polish, to listen to text being read out, because I'm a big fan of reading and listening at the same time. So the next technology we're going to look at is called Kanzai. Kanzai.ai. Click on try it. You've got here your language companions. Notice you've got French, you've got Italian, Spanish and English at the moment. We're going to do it in English. Okay, so we'll click on Cassidy. Oh, let's do William this time. I've worked with Cassidy before, so I'm going to click on chat now. It's going to open up a window and notice it says start conversation. Now I can actually set a few things about how I know William. I'm going to say that I know him as a friend and I'll speak in advanced level. Okay, and now really it's just a question of me clicking on start conversation and hopefully William's going to start to speak to me.
I'm always up for a friendly chat. What's been on your mind lately? Any new hobbies or interests you've been exploring?
So when I want to reply to William, I just click on this button here. Yeah, I've started learning Polish. It's going pretty well, but it's a really tough language. Stop. And then wait till it picks it up, send it. And then I'm going to wait now for William to reply to me. And I can see that he's already doing that.
Oh, that's fantastic, Russell. Learning a new language is always a worthwhile pursuit. I can only imagine the challenges of tackling Polish, but I admire your determination. It's quite admirable, I must say. How did you become interested in learning Polish?
Okay, notice also that I get feedback, okay? And I found this really useful when I've been practicing Spanish because it's actually given me some really useful feedback. And of course I would carry on the conversation in the same way. Well, my wife is my wife is Polish, so I decided that it was time to learn the language. Okay, and then I again send it. Okay, I've even corrected myself, but hopefully he'll understand me. Again, I can see he's processing his reply. Fairly quick. Wish it was a little bit quicker, but notice you can also play back his reply.
I see. That's a wonderful reason to learn Polish, Russell. It's always a great way to connect with loved ones on a deeper level when you can speak their native.
All right, let's stop that. Notice you can repeat, okay, if you need to listen. I like the idea that you can listen and speak as well. You're having a conversation. It's quite a good idea. Okay, here. Okay, so that's a little bit of feedback on my performance. Okay, my English is pretty good actually because I was born in England. But anyway, good. I like it. And I've been using it in Spanish. The last site is called Ego AI. This one's only for English. You can create an account. One thing about this site that's interesting is it's going to be free. So the idea is that there's going to be advertising on the screen, but you will be able to access the content for free. I have not very happy with the sign-in process because I've signed in, and yet every time I go to sign in again, it seems that I need to actually check my emails to confirm my signing, which is a little bit annoying, and I will be getting back to the company and letting them know this. But if I just jump very quickly to the home page anyway, because the content is free and you can kind of come on here, what you've got is these categories. And what's interesting about this content is that, if we'll choose famous people, is that you basically, let's choose, let's have a look what we got. Okay, the life of Walt Disney. Okay, that's interesting because I know that he failed many times before he succeeded. And we get this, I've chosen beginner level, but what we do is we listen to this video, and you'll notice that the video also comes up with the kind of subtitles on the screen. Let's have a quick look.
Walt Disney was an important man who made many famous cartoons and movies. He was born in 1900.
So I like this. Great idea. Good listening and reading at the same time. Something I love doing in Polish, and I loved doing in the past in other languages. Then I can come on to a read activity. The read activity, I read the text and I answer these questions. I then come on to a listen activity. I listen to the text and I complete the text. I then come on to a speak activity. I listen to the text and then speak and record myself, and it even gives me feedback. I then come on to a review activity where I just go through and answer these questions based on the story or the life of Walt Disney. And finally, there's a writing activity where I write my own 100 words on Walt Disney. I click on check, and again, it gives me feedback on my writing. Now, this is all for free. The idea here is that this is being paid for by the fact that you can see that there are Google ads, so they might be annoying to you. But this might be the type of website that you'd like to recommend to your students. Now, something very special. I've got a handout for you that covers those technologies plus a super amazing bonus one about how you can create videos for free using an incredible technology called invideo.com. Now, all you need to do is email russellhandout@gmail.com. This is not my email address. This is an automated system that will therefore send you back immediately a reply, and in that reply you will notice that there are links to videos, how to use natural readers in more detail, how to use twee.com in more detail, how to use the InVideo tool, etc, etc. So if you want to learn more about any of the technologies that I've shown you today, plus get the bonus one, which is one of my favorites, then just email russellhandout@gmail.com, and automatically in the reply you will see, if you open it, that there are the links to all of the different technologies, and there are videos on each one of those. This is not a database. You're not signing up to anything. I do not keep your data. It's just a mechanized system, and it's as simple as that. One final thing. Love to see a few more of you on my patreon.com site. So it's patreon.com/teachertrainingvideos. Very simple. What I do is every week I give you a news video about the latest technologies that I'm looking at, any special offers there are to sign up and use technologies for free, which happens very often. Even sometimes you get lifetime membership if you're the first 500 or 1,000 people onto the technology and testing it. I share with you some of the work that I'm doing, the various companies I work for, and I also share with you any articles that I've read that I think are interesting, or any interviews or videos that I've come across that I think, guys, you need to learn about this because this is where the education's going. Now, you get that for free at the moment if you sign up and just join Patreon but don't pay. If you pay, on top of the weekly news video, you also get one specific high quality training video on a specific technology where I go into quite a lot of detail. We've already got about 5 or 6 weeks of content, so if you join now you get all the backdated technologies as well. You've had a taster today of the sorts of things I'm covering. I cover obviously a lot more things on Patreon, and there are many things on Patreon that I don't put on the YouTube channel. So love to see a few more of you on Patreon, and thank you very much, and I hope you like that video.